It's exactly 2:45 p.m. on Sunday, August 20th. I just woke up. And the reason that I just woke up was because the homicidal psychopath / criminally insane sex offender named J.Irrizarys started to use some type of remote capacity electronic assault device on me physically while I've been lying on this bed throughout the late morning and early afternoon. Oh, here we go. Anyway, I woke up at around 10, immediately started getting remote stun gunned while I was lying on this bed, just trying to wake up. I got up. The psychopath J.Irrizarys started remote tasering me as I tried to approach my bathroom and just try to use it. And I ended up not being able to use my bathroom because the remote tasering was so intense that I just had to go lie back down. And since then, I've been just sleeping unwell because she keeps doing this every time I tried to wake up. I would get literally zapped. This is a full body electronic zapping. It feels exactly like you're being tasered. If anybody has been tasered, you know how intense, painful, and unusual that sensation is. It is not like anything else that you could possibly experience physically. It doesn't feel like you're cutting yourself. It doesn't feel like you're being, beaten up. It feels like you're being electrocuted. Anybody who has had any kind of experience with electrocution or electric contact with like a live wire or something like that, you know exactly what it feels like. And this is exactly what it feels like. If someone is doing it intensely enough to you or frequently enough, it will literally make you pass out. So that's what's been happening to me throughout this entire morning. And now I feel completely like weak and wiped out. My muscles are really weak. The first thing that you experience is sudden loss of muscle control and muscle weakness. And then you experience like intense, debilitating headaches, and then the shortness of breath, and then just burning, like you're being electrically zapped. So this has been going on throughout the entire morning, and it has prevented me from actually being able to even just get up and do stuff. And now it's almost 3 p.m., and I've wasted an entire morning because this homicidal psychopath who the Greenville group continues to not just choose to house on this floor, but they permit her to access the empty vacant unit that's behind this wall right here. That is the unit in which they housed her for 8.5 years between 2013 and sometime last year. They told me they moved her out a few months ago, but she continues to access this unit right here. And for the last 2 days now, she's been psychotically, agitatedly burning, smoking, and propagating the same exact set of sickening, nauseating substances of burning rubber, rotting cigars, and really intense marijuana fumes as she has been burning, propagating, and smoking behind that wall since she was moved in 2013. So technically, she still lives behind that wall, which means she's lived there now for 10 years, just about 10 years. Management says it was 8.5 years because they moved her out like last year, but I'm not so sure about that. She continues to access that unit when Jorge, the maintenance manager, is not there, and he's not there on weekends usually, and he hasn't been there for about 10 days as far as I can tell. And that's how this homicidal psychopath and criminally insane sex offender and psychotic stalker continues to access the wall behind this sink and engages in all kinds of deliberately harmful and extremely dangerous activities, such as using a remote capacity stun gun device to zap me when I lie on my bed. It's always when I lie on my bed, but there's absolutely no electronic equipment, electronic charges or plugs or anything around this bed that could deliver this type of really high voltage electronic assault. That has to be done separately with some type of specialized device or equipment that obviously I keep reporting this person has been using, and not just using recently, but it started in 2017. It actually put me in the hospital in 2018. It started again in 2019. It put me in the hospital in 2019. And then it stopped up until 2022. In March of 2022, that's when it started again. So this electronic assault device usage by this homicidal psychopath who appears to be some type of criminal thug that the Greenville group uses to physically harm people that they're trying to get rid of or that they don't like, or they're trying to make them move out in some way. So they hire her to literally stalk and harass and physically harm people in whatever way she can. And this has been going on for years, but most recently, very intensely over the last few months as I keep reporting it. So right now, I just had to leave a voicemail for the Greenville group at 2:45 p.m. to report that over the last 5.5 hours now, this psychotic attack dog, who's a criminally insane psychopath, who seems to be accessing some unusual types of weapons and devices, has been using a remote-controlled stun gun or some type of other remote-capacity electronic assault device while I've been lying here trying to rest, minding my own business. It happened just a couple of minutes after I sat up in bed at around 10:30 and started getting up. That's when she started tasering me, and now she's filling this entire unit right now with overpowering, intense, and sickening marijuana, cigar, and burning rubber fumes to let me know that she's just right there behind this wall. And as I keep reporting, the remote tasering is always accompanied by intense odors and fumes from behind this wall, because she wants me to know that she's the one who's electronically zapping me, and that, you know, she's right there, and I have to know that she's right there. And she knows that I think that she's a complete piece of shit and don't want to have anything to do with filth like her. And because she stalks people anyway, regardless of whether they want to have anything to do with her, she does everything she can to let them know that she's just a few feet away, that there's nothing they can do about it. And then she goes to town with the electronic assault devices to somehow punish them for not wanting to have anything to do with her. I mean, that's what psychopaths do, right? They're psychotic criminals. They have a completely different set of mental functioning that normal people do. And that's why all serial killers are psychopaths, and many psychopaths are serial killers. So I'm very curious to know if this homicidal psychopath named J.Irrizarys has actually tried to kill people in the past. I know she tries to kill me, because when you use an electronic assault device on someone, you don't calibrate it. I'm sure she's not using it on the gentle setting. You can actually kill somebody by using an electronic assault device. That's attempted murder. So I'm going to go to court. Obviously, I have to. The police are doing nothing about this. And the Greenville management is actually using her services, apparently, because they continue to allow this to happen. And their attorneys are just out to lunch. They don't even seem to realize that this kind of thing is happening. So, I have to go to court and start filing charges against everyone because this keeps happening. So I am going to leave another voicemail for the Greenville group. I'm going to record it. Then I'm going to post it to YouTube.